Still a little bit right there because of that extra piece that I had to add. I could take it all out by shaving a little more, but it's okay. Almost invisible. There are a few spots. You can see like little pinholes, but it doesn't go through the downpipe. It's just that the weld didn't fill all the way on like the top layer, but it's still penetrated all around. Already tested with light. There's no light that comes in or out, so it is fully sealed. This weld right here was really bad, and then I tried shaving it down the other day. I did this a couple days ago. I did penetrate like 90% around when I welded it on the inside as well, but for the outside I got like 80% penetration. But that's still pretty good. It's functional. It's up pipe. I really like the fact that I deleted the weld right here. Just shaved it down. Still pretty strong. I think I'm gonna give it like a nice black exhaust coat. Just gonna test fit it on the car real quick though. Nothing super professional, but being the first exhaust that I've ever welded, especially with a MIG welder, I think, or excuse me, not even on the MIG. It's on flux core right now since there's no gas bottle. But I think it came out pretty good. Obviously, I just have it loosely mounted right now. I'm gonna put the gasket and all 4 bolts on later. But she looks pretty good for some cheap exhaust and a cheap welder. Pretty happy. Like I mentioned in the last couple videos, I still have to make a bracket for the radiator. I welded this so it has an inclination towards the inside. I cut it, you know, and whatnot and pushed it that way. So it's not directly touching right now, but once I mount the radiator exactly how I want to, it's going to be even more out of the way. If you see right here, the melted spot, that's actually from my Integra a couple years ago. Similar setup. I had Ricky from Sellers Racing do the up pipes on that. And one day at the track, the bracket that I had made, or not even the bracket, the zip ties that I was using for the radiator at that time broke. And it fell onto there and it sat there for like 2 minutes, so melted it. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. That's the only reason that there's a melt spot on the radiator, shroud, fan, or whatever you want to call it. I'm pretty happy with how it came out. I windowed the top over here already, and obviously I'm not a fabricator. I don't know exactly how to do the exact spot, so I just windowed it a lot bigger. Obviously this is just the bottom layer. The carbon overlay on the top is still perfect. You can't even see that I cut the bottom of it. So once I get it all coated and whatnot, I can do the actual hole. I'll find exactly where it hits. And this just, I think it's gonna sit a little bit higher than the hood. And so it'll peek out a little bit, then I'll make a little trim ring. And looking at it now, obviously I don't have like a belt sander or anything, so I couldn't make it perfect at the top. But I might modify this and just like cut it a little bit straighter. But I'm just happy that I was able to do a nice up pipe with a decent teardrop. Not bad for my first time, I think. But yeah, I'm gonna get that painted up right now. All right, so I have it here hanging from a little tree. It looks pretty good, raw finish, but I know it's gonna rust a little bit, especially being flux core. I don't really want that exposed too much to the air. I think it rusts a little bit more than if you were to weld with actual bottle like a MIG. So I'm gonna start off with a little bit of flame-proof primer, which I just had laying around, and then I'll just do some high temperature or exhaust paint, like some flat black or something. So yeah, gonna spray this on real quick and show you in a sec. There's the primer on. I couldn't find any exhaust paint, so here's just some engine enamel. Still good up to 500 degrees. It'll be fine. I've ran them on exhaust before. So just gonna give it a nice little coat or two of some black. I'm pretty sure this is gloss black, but regardless, still gonna be good. Ugh, I just remembered why I didn't want to use that paint a couple weeks ago for something else. It lays on super thick and inconsistent. So yeah, it's super spotty. I'm gonna give it one more coat to see if it just like evens out. Let it dry a little bit already, and hopefully it looks okay. Worst case scenario, I can always just strip it in the future. And you know what? It's just an up pipe. It's nothing crazy. It's not like I'm painting the car with it, but you can see how spotty it is. I don't know. Not too crazy about that paint, but I'll just give it one more coat so it's all even, hopefully. Looking at the tip of the spray can, you know that it was spraying bad. Look how bad that is. And I didn't even notice it until I got done spraying. Well, not gonna use that anymore. I really wish I would have not used it to begin with, but like I said, it's just an exhaust. I'm not too worried about it. We already tested it on the car and it looks pretty good. So that being said, before I get ready for work, I just have to clean up the garage a little bit. And she should be ready to move on to the next stage of the pre-turbo prep. Still not fully dry. I probably shouldn't have bolted it up, but I did. Not too shabby. I like it. I like how it came out. Nice little up pipe. Like I said, still have to make the bracket for the radiator, but pretty good. Then all I need to do to finish the exhaust and whatnot is actually make the hole in the hood. It's gonna sit, like I said, a little bit higher, but I think it'll still sit pretty nice. And then obviously I'll modify it as I need to. Looking back at it now, I probably should have taken off maybe like an inch or two more, but it's all good. Happy for it. It's still my first exhaust, especially my first hood exit. In the future, I'll still cut a little bit more off the teardrop. And you can look at the angle right there. I'll probably end up cutting it downwards, like to right that point. And yeah, but that's for the future. I'm not worried about that right now. That's once I actually end up cutting it, and I might just cut it to the angle of the hood, and I think it'll look nice right there. Yeah. All right, guys, that does finish the video for today. Thanks for sticking along for this. I know the beginning was a little bit slow and I didn't describe what I was doing in those clips. I just wanted to kind of like give you guys a view at what I was seeing when I was doing everything. If you have any questions at all about this, just hit me up at Instagram at Slowintegra, or you can leave a comment down below, but I'm a lot quicker to respond to the messages there. And yeah, and the next day I'll finish that up as well as put on the catch can. Let me show you real quick the catch can that I got. It's just an eBay one, but it's dash 10 fittings. And very simple, 2 lines, and I have the bungs for the back of the block, and then the dash 10, and that'll go to there onto the catch can, and it'll breathe a lot better. So that gets put on tomorrow. The hood exit is 90% done, and after that I just have to wait on my injectors, and we'll be ready to tune. So probably in like the next 2 weeks, that should be good to go. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe if you aren't already, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.